yesterday,
You
my
slept
morning,
in past 9, didn't you?
Say what? Oh, I woke up at like 9:30. My wife and I took a walk down the street to get a coffee. Then we took a $100 gondola ride to the top of this mountain where we went on this roller
hate your
coaster.
life.
We had lunch.
I'd be so bored.
We took a hike. It was
You
like
took a hike yesterday?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Okay.
Man. Idea drop. Do you want to have a job where when people ask you what you do, you can just look at them, shrug your arms, and say, well, it's complicated? Because that's what you'll get when you start listening to us. We are the very incarnation of a jack of all trades. But just like a master of none is better than a master of one, the skills that we are trying to impart is better than a singular skill. In short, normal jobs suck. Let's make life more interesting. Start a few businesses, fail a few times, and maybe one day, just one day, get rich in the process. How are you, Kendall?
I feel like I'm not failing. Like, is it me too?
No, I've lost a lot of money. I think this year
that's
alone,
true.
I've lost probably, well, not that much. About $10,000 trying new ideas, right?
Hey, that's good. That's
Yeah,
just,
it's not
we
bad.
call that investing. That's
Yes.
a business expense.
Yes,
At least you didn't
we should talk about investing,
Wait.
actually.
Did you get taxed on that $10,000
Dude, I'm so bad
you
at
lost?
taxing. I'm so bad
Did
at
you
taxing.
get taxed on the 10,000?
Not yet. I mean, I would report it next year.
So it was business income, or did you pay taxes on it from
Okay, let's
earned
hear.
income?
We both bought a business. That business failed.
Yep.
I bought a bunch of equipment to do things that I never ended up doing. So I just kind of
in
sold
an
the equipment.
entity, or did you write it off?
No, I never do. I never go the right way. I just
Okay.
kind of like start ideas and get it going. Then after the momentum's
So it
going,
cost you 18 to earn that 10 that you lost.
yeah, probably.
You lost
yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so I want to quickly go over what we're talking about
What are we
today.
talking about?
In today's episode,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to go over a business for your sister,
Yeah.
Dustin's sister. We're going to do some book club. I want to talk about Reed Hastings' Netflix manifesto called No Rules Rules.
Nice.
A business idea to help you feel bad about yourself. That's yours. I have no idea what that
that's
is.
great.
We've got a segment called Someone Needs to Hear This, and maybe it's you. Medical bill negotiators. I'd like to talk about. That is an existing business,
Dude,
but I have
that's
some
so
ideas there.
real, and I
Yep.
hate that.
Easter egg. Okay, I have an Easter egg hidden in the room. Then we have an influencer strike team service. We'll talk about that in a sec. Content kingly ideas, counter pitching salespeople, and a one-call website.
Can you
Where do
start
you
with,
wanna start?
Wait, can you start with counter pitching salespeople?
Yeah. This one's super dumb. So I get spammed in my inbox, just like we told Dustin just to spam other people.
Yeah.
Right? I get spammed all day long. And probably only 10% of the emails I get are things that I care about. 90% are things I don't care about.
Yeah.
Within that spam, I was thinking like, do I write a little script to like just go waste these people's time just as
Yeah.
punishment for reaching out to me? That could be cool.
That's
hey,
fun.
reach out to me at Kendall.ai and talk to me there. And then I have an AI just waste their time. And then I was like, well, let's not be so punitive with this. Let's try to make some money. So instead, we identify the things that sales managers have to buy, and then we use sales people as the influencers to push a
To
product.
repitch a salesman.
I want to counter pitch them. So I want to have a copy paste, like a reply, ready to go. So an example would be always pitch a lead gen service for the thing that they
Dude,
do.
that's actually, no, that's so funny. That's okay. So you mentioned this right before we started filming. I was thinking, all right, Kendall, I used to run the internet division of a sales department for Toyota, right?
Okay,
At a dealership.
Toyota internet sales.
Toyota internet
Okay,
sales.
wow.
And it was great because everybody was really old
Yeah.
and they all thought I was a wizard. And I
Right.
sold way more
Yeah,
cars
you
than anybody
whiz
else
kid.
just because
Yeah.
it was easy to
Right.
like hack the system. Oh, they live 10 miles away, sell the car for this price. Oh, they live 20, you have
Yeah.
to sell it for way
The
less.
hack is if you're 45, hire someone who's 21 and just say,
it's
hey,
easy.
make us money. I'll
What
pay you
should we
commission.
do? I don't know. Yeah, so it was totally great. But I was trying to think like, okay, if somebody like emails me or I email somebody, hey, buy this car, and they're going to be, yeah, but how about you buy this rug instead? That doesn't make any sense, right? But selling the lead gen would have worked. I would have bought that. If they would have said,
Right.
hey,
I
I'm not going
give
to buy your car,
leads.
but I will sell you.
People shopping for Chevys or
fresh
Toyotas.
leads. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fresh leads or anything like that. I think that would be great.
Yeah. So you just need the product lined up to counter pitch them.
Yeah.
The guerrilla tactic is you make the business after you know you have buyers. So you buy like a couple weeks, like, hey, I'm out this week because I'm working on my current job.
Dude.
But I can talk to you next Wednesday
Yeah.
about this thing. And by
Yeah.
next Wednesday, you'll have a business ready.
Dude, okay. You know what actually is a really genius? If you're trying to find, this is a terrible hack, and it was done to me once. If you're trying to find a good salesman, go try to buy something and find the person who sells you well, and then offer them a job.
Yeah.
So this happened to me. I was trying to sell this car to this guy, and got to the end of the process, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, I actually didn't end up want to buy this car, but I really liked your sales process. I'd like you to work on our headhunting team."
Wow.
And I was going to take it, but I ended up moving because Minnesota's awful.
Yeah.
But
It works.
it totally works.
Yep.
And he went through the whole process of seeing, like, is this person good at sales or bad, without even, like, the risk was really small. It's great. It's super smart.
My friend Tim was at poker night a couple nights ago, and he's probably for the last 15 years straight built sales teams. Like, that's the thing he does, but he's done it for 8 or 9 companies. And so he made this joke that I don't think was a joke. He's like, all my best salespeople come from Starbucks. Oh. And I was like, wait a minute. 11 years ago, I worked for Tim as a salesman. Mm-hmm. And I was previously working at Starbucks. That's legit his hunting ground. He walks in and he's like, sizes you up at the cash register, sees how the service is, see if you do process well. Are you highly efficient? And these things combined can be trained into good. Yeah.
Now, I've heard that Starbucks has one of the best training systems on earth.
Really does.
It takes like an average person and makes them incredible customer service. Is that true?
After 6 months of an ulcer, yeah.
Really?
Oh, I was so stressed for the first 6 months. It was so hard to learn.
Why?
Yeah, I felt like everybody was working circles around me. The amount of things to hold in your head and do simultaneously is mind-blowing.
Is it? But I look behind the counter and there's 15 of you guys.
Yeah, and there's 46 things that need to happen simultaneously, so everybody's doing 4. I mean, and if you're the new guy, nobody wants to talk to you and train you on the spot, right? Training is like, but muscle memory and habits really come into play.
It's got to be kind of addictive, I bet.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I was the drive-through guy, so I was like, hey, thanks for coming to Starbucks, and I'd mute, and I'd go, hey, can you get me some ice, Mallory? And then Mallory's literally my boss's name.
Nice.
And then I'd be like, hey, Carol, can you make 2 venti lattes? But I need to remake the one with cinnamon. It wasn't cinnamon, it was vanilla, and she has a cinnamon allergy. Okay, yeah, so you want a mocha with 2 extra shots?
So this is great. It taught you customer service, delegation, and
4 conversations at once. Great for schizophrenic people? ADD?
It gave you ADD is what
it
it
gave me ADD.
That's really funny.
Plus the coffee, it probably, there's a study to be had there. Someone studied baristas and before and after.
I drank so much coffee it's so funny too. It's sad. We both slam coffee shops. I think it's terrible business to start unless you're going to start a
great service.
Oh,
Thank you for
great
your service.
Don't go away. It's fantastic. It's just an old business. Anyways, great idea. All right, we've got mailbag today. Now, I've not actually seen it yet, but I hear that it's coming from a man named Dustin in Huntsville, Alabama. Dustin, good, strong name. I'm hoping that you're taking it very far and doing us good justice in that. Jamie, do you have it ready? I think he's pulling it up. Yeah, there it is.
Hey, Dustin. Hey, Kendall. Big fan of the podcast. I am Gen Z, so I did discover y'all on TikTok, but ever since then, I've listened to every episode on Spotify. In listening, I came up with an idea for you guys, and that's to give ideas to people based on their individual circumstance. So, hey, I'm also Dustin. I'm 22 years old, just graduated college, and started my engineering career. So I make decent money now, but I don't have a bunch of capital to launch a full-scale business or product. I'm in systems engineering, so these skills are in high demand right now. I've even thought about doing a course on what I do, but I don't have the hard skills that other engineers have. Like, I can't really code, and I can only do light CAD work. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. It's ranked best place to live. It's now the biggest city in Alabama, but it is still Alabama, so it's only around 200,000 people. Not a lot of tourism, but a lot of military, renters, stuff like that. I don't know any other information y'all might need, but I'm just looking for ideas that I can start with little down and kind of grow into and learn. So I appreciate y'all's time and look forward to your ideas. Thanks.
Dude, I like this guy a lot. That's awesome. That's actually great.
I got something for him.
You do?
Do you?
I do have something. I want to hear what you would say.
He thought about the e-course thing.
Yeah.
And I think he's right. Like, that's hard. You don't want to do broad. I would just niche down. Like, he's got to learn a lot of things in systems engineering.
Yeah.
And he is dealing with some obscure problem. There's a server problem on the exact brand or the tech stack he's using or how they're doing hybrid host. There's some problem, and he needs to be really specific and just make a YouTube channel of those exact problems because it's very efficient. Because while he works, he can just screen record and talk because he's already having to learn that explicit problem and then turn those over. Have you ever seen like the car mechanic videos? You're like, it's a 1993 Toyota Camry alternator problem.
This would work. I like that. The problem is it would require him. No, he's good in front of a camera. He did fine right there. He'd have to become kind of a personality figure and have to continue to keep up with that every single day. I don't think he should do that. I think, okay, best business is all about leverage, using the skills you have to leverage into everything else. He's saying he can't code, he can only do light CAD work, which is great. Don't learn how to code. Don't do heavy CAD work. No. Outsource everything. You now have the knowledge to know what you need to know. So start marketing yourself as, hey, we do systems engineering or whatever you want to call yourself. And then to start outsourcing every single thing and build it up,
as a service?
As a service, but don't do it yourself. I don't know if
you got to niche it like for law firms.
Oh, yeah. Find a niche. And you don't even actually have to find a niche. You can shoot out 10 different niches in ads and then see which one catches.
Find 10 niches
that's totally
with
fine.
Emails.
That's really good. No, that's actually kind of dope. He knows enough to get people to buy his services, and then he probably knows enough to find people to fulfill those services. I think if he were to double down on that skill, which I guess would be project management, in 5 years, he could work himself out of a job and then just start kind of doing what he's passionate about a little bit more than that and exploring different directions. That's what I would do if I was him.
I like that. A hack for that would be to chase the LinkedIn rabbit trail of your boss. And so look at your boss's title and look at the companies that hire your boss.
That's actually
so
great.
Just type that into, if you pay $70 or do the free trial for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can get org chart mapping.
Would you just reach out to those companies?
So first I would just be thinking about this. So I would look at my boss's title and then I would go type that in and I would see orgs hiring that thing. Then I would go offer them a service of that thing.
Yeah.
But I would look at which one is the strongest niche, like that I'm comfortable with. So you find a law firm that is hiring a systems engineer.
Yeah.
Read that job description, drop it into AI, so copy AI or Jasper, and then have it reshuffle for a cold email until you like that email, edit it slightly, and start testing that out there as your pitch.
That would be great.
Try that, Dustin.
Yeah. The risk that you run, I would start really slow. Start with just one project, probably a small project, and say, absolutely, we can do this, and see if you can hire one person to help you do this. And then you can just kind of build from there. But, dude, tell us if it works or tell us what you do. I want to know what you actually do with this information. Or if you think it's total bullshit,
tell us
just
if it's
actually
bullshit.
just drop a line. I want to know how it's going. And actually, if you want to have a call, I want to hear a little bit about how you're doing in that whole process.
Call Dustin. Call Dustin.
I know. It's the name. It endeared me to him. Dude, let me talk about businesses for my sister.
Go for it. I don't know if this is a joke or it's real.
No, it's kind of real. There? So I was up last night. I was just like texting, and my sister was like, "Hey, I wanna make some extra side cash. What do you think is a good side hustle?" Because she's a teacher and she likes it, but they don't make a ton of money. So
how old is she? You never
42.
ask the age of a woman, but you can ask her brother.
So she's 42. She's great. She's super creative. She has a degree in graphic design, and she's very hands-on, great at everything. So I was like, what would be interesting? And just on the spot, just looking at different things. So I went to Etsy because she can build anything. She's got kids. She's good at all that kind of stuff. Dude, you know what I found? Have you seen these concrete little figurines? They have tons of different things. It can be a concrete little penguin or anything like that. The thing that I saw was a concrete...
people have molds for the penguin. Okay.
Have you ever done molding?
I've never done it, no.
It's not that hard, and it's kind of fun.
Should I teach my kids?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, no. I think it's great. So I found these concrete rings. Like, here's an example. This concrete ring. It's just... Oh, it's loading. Look at that.
It is a concrete ring for $138.
$138.
That probably costed 50 cents of material.
Exactly. Literally 50 cents of material. Okay, so I looked at this one. Wow. This one's black. They sold it 4,613 times. 50 cents of material.
Okay.
That's almost, do the math on that. Like, how much does it cost?
138 times 4,000. So you have $500,000, $600,000 in sales here.
Yeah, about $600,000 of sales. And that was easy to make because you make one mold and it's done.
So it's a black polished concrete, which you on a drill you have a little polisher for the inside,
but that's easy. That's
and the
so easy.
outside is just like. Yep.
It's a mixture of concrete and epoxy.
Okay.
That's all it is, and dye.
10 of you listening should do this. So you should make a mold. You should do 10, or you should do a lot of
It could be
rings.
anything. Concrete's
stick with rings.
Yeah, sure, stick with rings. There's a lot of rings on the market, and just
rings are in the wedding industry.
Yeah, they're
people
never going
replace
anywhere.
them and break them. And if you're doing concrete, you're gonna be a repeat customer because it's gonna break. So a terrible product, but it's beautiful,
dude. And no, the reviews are massive. The
reviews are
arbitrage is incredible. So I was thinking, holy crap!
Actually,
I just want to do this.
I just found the sales pitch of the concrete ring.
Yeah.
Doing woodworking, working in the yard. Don't want to get your finger pulled apart if you get it caught in the machine.
Oh yeah.
Then get a concrete ring so that it shatters in the event of an emergency.
Just buy a new one.
And then buy a new one.
I mean, I used the silicone rings.
This titanium, I would lose my finger.
I have the same problem, actually. I don't know what it is, but I know that.
So people do silicone as the hack, but this is a nice. I don't do silicone because it looks bad to me.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
dude, this is a good business, and it's actually very doable.
But specifically rings.
Yeah.
You can make your mold to do like 10 at a time or more.
Yeah.
So make your mold and then just have a way to separate the layers.
And it's so easy. You just need to know how to make one. And then after that, if you proved you can make one, fulfill the order.
I'm showing my daughter this.
Oh yeah, it's great. Fulfill the order and then just make it when they order it. You don't have to like build up inventory. It's easy.
And undercut these guys. Come on. Oh yeah. $99.
Easy. $99. You still make $98.50 off of it. It's not so bad.
So let me do I don't have we need a sound, Jamie, for book club. I'd like a sound for book club because we're going to do this every week because I'm loaded. You're probably loaded on books.
We are both avid readers. Okay. I do like that.
So I'm an Audible person now. I've been converted, but I still say I read the book because I intently listened to the whole book.
And took the information.
Yeah. I mean, they're usually 6 to 8 hours and I slam them out. So Reed Hastings is the CEO of Netflix and the founder.
Okay.
And they have a very, very unique culture that people inside Silicon Valley, it's like very famous, but I want to be a bridge to people who aren't in Silicon Valley. Like people need to get some of their information, but not be trapped in that culture. So No Rules is the manifesto of like basically their experiments on how they set up culture and removed policies to see what people do with extreme freedom, but the bar is responsibility. So if you break the responsibility bar, you're fired on the spot, no questions asked.
So like, hey, I need 10 of this done by this time, and if you
you can fail, but it's like, let's say, okay, here's a great example. You're traveling to Sundance Film Festival for Netflix.
Great.
And you are really tired, and it's an overnighter, and you just worked all day, and you need to get a nap. Because tomorrow you need to close on a $4 million documentary deal. Do you book first class or coach?
First class.
You book first class. Company's paying for it.
Yeah.
You book first class. Okay.
Absolutely.
You're flying home for the weekend. You need to book coach.
Yeah.
Because that's a responsible spend.
It depends on what part of the company you're at, but yeah.
That's not how they see it.
So
they're
really,
like, I don't care about your status. You didn't need to waste the money on the $1,000 extra for first class or whatever.
For real.
You can buy that yourself for sure. Like if you make enough executive money, sure, buy it yourself. But
is this a real example?
They used this exact example as one of the things. So like you get 10%. The finance department audits 10% randomly of all spend.
That's smart.
In the company. And if you're like, hey, this was unwise, and they ask you about it, and you literally like feel like you have to hide it, you're fired. So like, yeah, okay. You're one of our top performers. You're fired. That you broke the freedom and responsibility rule. But we don't have a travel policy. That's the freedom part. Make your own big boy decisions and do what's in the best interest for the net result, the best net result.
Gray areas are really, really tough, man.
So Netflix is the only company I've seen at scale
did it work?
It is working. Another example is they overpay.
Well, not last quarter.
They overpay by 20% of market. So if you're a software engineer who makes $200K at a different company, Netflix will offer you 240.
See, that doesn't scare me. I think that's really, really smart because like a better employee is worth far more than 20%.
Oh yeah. Multiples better, right? So, but if you are no longer the best in your craft, you're also fired.
Well, hold on.
This is super controversial. So they fire people for being any form of mediocre. And if they find someone better than you, you're replaced. Now, you have a head start. You are trained on your job and you came in very talented. The theory is if you're Pele.
Have you seen Drumline? This is Drumline.
No, I haven't seen Drumline.
Stupid.
If you are Pele, you should not lose your starting position on the soccer team.
Sure.
Until a certain age and somebody is better than Pele. So they're like, we are not a company here for like we're a company that's here on a mission. And if you are like a pro athlete, you work here. Now, so that's where the controversial thing. So the HR people are very divided on this, but the performance metrics are incredible. And the people working in the culture, like when you talk to them in the culture, they are like, yeah, it's awesome. Like everybody I work with is the best at what they do. So I
want to talk to the people who left the culture.
And the people who leave
yeah.
are displaced. But
are they
it
pissed
wasn't
off?
Sneaky. Some of them. For sure. There's hence the controversy. But it's not sneaky. It's overt and clear from the beginning. Like don't work at Netflix if you don't want to lose your job someday because someone's better. The CHRO, the chief of human resources, fired herself because that was the policy. And one day she found somebody better. Now, these are people at the top of their game, right? This is not the normal friend we have. Like, they're all better than us.
Sure.
Literally, it's fascinating.
Okay.
Anyways.
This will for sure work, and it's for sure not a culture I think I would build.
Yeah, I'm not building that culture in my teams. But aspects of it are fascinating. Like the gray area of the plane ticket. Love that. I don't want to talk about your plane ticket. Like, why are we talking about this?
Sure.
Just buy the plane ticket.
No. I get that. That's totally cool. That part is totally fine as long as you can defend it. And as long as there's like, look,
but they take it to
that's
the nth
actually
degree.
not okay. And like, I went out to lunch with my friend for a business lunch. Well, it cost $400. Okay, you're fired.
Yeah, that was 3 bottles of wine and the meal.
I went to, unless you're schmoozing a new client. Maybe
right. And
sense.
so, no, the client was there. Good job. Way to spend $400.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they take it to the nth degree. So their example was there was literally a guy whose job was to do documentary purchases at the Sundance Film Festival. And he does $1 million buys. Like they get the licensing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the going rate for top documentaries, like what was that McDonald's one?
Super Size Me.
Super Size Me.
Yeah.
Like $2 million or something. Somebody bought the rights for that.
It seems so cheap.
That's back in the day. Now in the rise of like streaming services, it's like open game because all about are you winning the content game in each category. So the latest documentary came out that everybody loved it. It was clearly winning best in class for its thing. And he was like, crap. The other like Apple's here and they're offering $4.5 million for it. The top one until today was $2 million. The price just doubled overnight. So he was like, I need to get approval because we have to have this one for $5 million of purchase. Like, who do I even ask about that? He goes to his boss. And his boss goes, well, how would I know? You're the guy who's the best at buying documentaries for us. Who else in the company is the person who makes this decision? It's not a money decision. It's do we need this to be the best? And he's like, do whatever it takes. It has nothing to do with me, but don't make a wrong decision. If it's going to be the winner, spend what it takes. If it's not going to win the documentary race this year, don't buy it. And it's like back on that guy. It's back on you. There is no org chart here that's about your approvals. So you have to go make your job at risk. But you can say $6 million. And that's what he did. And he was right. And that guy, got promoted. I don't know. Did well.
Dude, it's not the culture I want to.
No, so stressful.
I think it would be
so
awful.
Stressful.
It's a little bit like
Google is the opposite of that culture, by the way.
Okay, Google's way better.
Yeah,
okay, but think of it like this: if I'm an athlete and I want to be the best athlete on planet Earth, you can do that, but it's going to come at a great cost.
At a high cost.
Yeah, and it's, in my opinion, it's not worth it because I want to also be a husband. I also want to, do normal things in my life.
Yep.
I want to have a beer at 7 p.m. if I want to have a beer at 7 p.m. It's not.
Yep.
I don't want to give that up. I think this is going to be It's a toxic culture. It's a little bit
Yeah.
like Apple was.
But
Is it
so
Apple?
is
yeah, with
so
Steve Jobs,
are
yeah.
professional athletes. Like I would say the exact same thing about any professional athlete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
You
most
can't
of them,
have
for
a
sure.
healthy family and be at the top.
No, I think you're right.
Competition has a cost, and that cost is too high for me.
Yeah, I think it's actually not too high for isolated bursts. Like the quote about genius, how genius is just moments of genius is just isolated moments of extremely hard work, right? If you can do this for moments in your company, you're like, hey guys, we have to grow and we have to do this, and so it is
and then you
dog eat dog
leverage.
right now for the next 6 months because we are in this
Interesting.
window.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me,
Yeah. Right.
but not a forever
That's
thing.
kind of how we do it. We go intense pushes, and then we take a step back and we go, okay, are we going to scale this through systems and
Yeah.
pace, or are we not?
I'd rather work at Google.
So,
Screw you, Netflix.
okay, throw at me another business idea. Hit the button.
Oh, let me see here. Okay, hold on. All right. Ahead or behind? It's a business about how to make yourself feel bad about yourself. It's a website. You go to the website and you just type in your information. You say, all right, I am X amount years old. I make this much money. And I have this. I am married. I'm not married. I have this, that, the other. And then it just tells you if you're ahead or behind of other people your
on the
age.
game of life? Based on what
totally.
criteria?
It's literally like, no, just compared to everybody else. Because it's
in
just,
all the categories that
it's
you care
comparing
about.
you to everybody else. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you're less happy than average, but you make more money than average. You're about like you're about 5 years behind.
Okay.
Or you're about.
I think it's terrible to push this on society, but I think
wanna
this would
do
make
it.
a ton of money.
I want to do it.
And as long as you do it with humor so that people like also are doing it playfully. Oh gosh, you're enabling.
Oh, it's terrible. It's completely
But Instagram does that too.
for sure. We're
all
just
Instagram is.
like pulling off the veneer of like, okay, who cares about your pretty photos? We're just gonna call it for what it is. Are you ahead or behind? Where do you eat breakfast at? Can you afford to go to
Based on the jury of your peers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Isn't it? Okay. It's awful, but it's hilarious.
It is
and
so
you
good.
get so much statistics.
Okay.
You can sell
What's
all
the
the information.
easiest way you can do that? So
Easiest way?
give me the minimum viable product of ahead or behind.
Ahead or behind, you create imaginary statistics based off of really good information, and then you go to the website, and so you already have something. So somebody goes there, they type in their information.
There's already-
and they're already
yep.
like, oh, I'm ahead or behind. Now it starts replacing the information
Yeah.
with the new information, so
Well
it's actually
done.
real. So
Yep.
you
You guess. So at the beginning you guess.
hmm And then
And then you
eventually
replace it with
know.
real data as more users get on.
Exactly.
Maybe you can make a accuracy tolerance at the beginning. You're like, hey, this is like plus or minus 70%, which is basically your gut.
It's 100% accurate. You are behind, my friend. You suck.
Eventually,
yeah,
based on data.
Yeah, if you're unemployed and you're
So wait, does having a lot of kids make me ahead in the category called kids or behind? Because which one is the right one?
well, that is a great question.
Yeah,
It's funny,
right?
So you and
This
I are
is
about
very
the same age,
subjective.
and
We're-
I very much chose not to have children, and I'm pretty happy with my choice. And you chose to have a lot of kids. You're not stopping for some reason.
I have 5, so they are 10, 8, 6, 4, and 0.
Yeah, and I lived in Asia. I've lived in Germany.
Yep, I've lived in America.
Yep. I've traveled a bunch. I've bungee jumped. I've skydived.
So you're ahead in that category,
Yeah.
and I'm ahead in kids, and you're also ahead in the avoiding kids category.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Right?
It's really kind of a strange thing. There's probably like the peripherals where they would just say, on average, these people have this. But there's like the pretty obvious stuff. Hey, how much money do you have in the bank? How much? What's your net worth? Right? Like,
Wait, can you do happiness levels?
yeah, I think you should.
Yep.
The problem is happiness levels.
If you give me a big old index and then you're
Yeah,
like,
you
hey,
do it
which
all.
5 things do you actually
Well,
care about?
it would be like a survey, and you just fill out the ones you want to count.
Ahead or behind?
Ahead or behind.
Can
It's
you?
terrible.
Hey Jamie, can we get the ahead or behind
can we buy
.com?
that?
If it's not a .com, get the .co. If you don't have a .co, get
Yeah.
the .ai.
Go to Google site, see if we can buy that.
Okay, let's move on.
There you
So, okay. I call this segment "Someone Needs to Hear This." Okay, someone needs to hear that you should not quit your job and double down on your side hustle.
Oh.
You should not quit the job and double down on your side hustle. And this person in my head, it's because you're about to fail your side hustle and you don't know it yet because you don't know what you don't know. And instead, You should pause your side hustle and spend the next 6 months identifying what you don't know. Then you present that to a couple peers and say, I've identified these are the things I don't know. Here is my side hustle concept. And you make stable income and don't blow up your life yet. You're still working towards success by doing this exercise, but it's not by making sales or an MVP or any of that normal entrepreneur crap that we do.
I don't know if I agree with you.
You don't know the person.
Well, I don't know the person. I'm thinking about me. So
someone
8
needs to hear
months
this.
ago,
Not
I quit
everyone
my
needs to hear
job
this. Okay.
to do this stuff.
That's over. On to our next segment.
Oh,
Dustin,
God.
catch
All
us up on your life.
What's going on in my life?
Yeah. So what did you need to hear in January? That was January, right?
Oh yeah. It was a little bit like just freaking nut up. Do it. Just do it.
Give us
do it.
context.
So I quit my normal nice salaried job. It was really easy. It was an easy job by that point.
What industry?
Production. So I was doing a bunch of music production, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And music and video production. So I turned that main hustle into my side hustle. So I just said, okay, cool. I'm going to produce
How was
video
the hourly pay difference between, like, you were on salary, but like if you were to make it equivalent, when you pivot it to that's my side hustle, contracting, consulting,
Yep.
did it double?
Oh, hourly, yeah, doubled.
It doubled?
About doubled. Maybe a little bit more. It's about double. Yeah. So,
Great.
But theoretically, you work half
And
the
you
amount.
got your time back.
You get your time back. But I wasn't working half the amount. I was working probably 25% of the amount. So I had to save up.
So you had half the income.
Yeah, about half the income.
Great.
Which is totally fine. It was good for me. But I did that. I took my main hustle, I turned it into my side hustle, and then I did a bunch of other ideas. And I failed a lot. But it kind of worked out because I had the time and the ability to fail. And I knew, stress-free, that my side hustle did have enough momentum that I would be okay.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. So I don't think you should do that. Quit your side hustle. Quit
like
your main
it.
hustle. Make your
I
main
like
hustle
it.
your side hustle.
Yeah.
Because you're in,
Contextually, everybody's different. Send us more videos
here's the main thing for you. If you're let's see here. Here's your good self-assessment. This is really sad, but are you drinking heavily on the weekends? Because you probably hate your job if you do.
So post-COVID, that's 90%
About
of our
all of
listeners.
us, right? Yeah. If you're drinking heavily on the weekends, it's because you are telling yourself, I freaking hate my job. So quit your job, make it your side hustle, and then go build something
Want to
else.
stop drinking?
I fully
Start
believe
making
you should quit
something
your
you
job.
like.
Say what?
To stop drinking, you should start building something you like.
Yeah, or keep drinking. There's nothing wrong with drinking, but that's your solution for a shitty job. So quit your shitty job.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love that. So let's move on to an idea I have for content kingly ideas. Content is king, and everybody knows it. It is 2022. Content is king. It's how SEO works. It's how human behavior works. Everything digital is the content good enough to add value to my life? Then user behavior follows that. And the algorithms now all know that. There is more justification than ever to just take kind of like the concept of this show, throwing out business ideas, and constrain it to content ideas, knowing there are many ways to make money through content. Okay. We don't even need to answer that now.
Yep.
A podcast, maybe next week, but just go, what do the people want and that I could make?
Yeah.
And just constrain your thinking to that. And could I do well? Can I do it for my iPhone? Can I do it? Can I buy a cheap camera?
Yeah.
Could I buy an expensive camera? Everybody's in a different spot. Get a good microphone, make good content. So I have some content ideas and then I want some of yours.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So these are only things we think would get a big enough following to then monetize in several ways. Okay. I think someone needs to do a meme account for my micromanager wife or husband. Literally, you call it spouse, but I feel like it waters down the claim. It's a meme account, right? It's funny. So this isn't, but it's going to hit home so many times. It happens to both of us. I control my wife and she controls me. No. This is about getting a following of content.
Okay, getting a following. Yeah,
You'll
it would work. You would
monetize
get a
it
following.
later.
Absolutely.
So that meme account can then be pivoted into therapy. It could be pivoted into self-help books.
Sure.
It could be a comedy show.
Yeah.
You could do a comedy show and you could charge for it. You could get a big comedian to come in and use that as the lead gen to book sales for an actual. There's so many things you can do if you have the distribution lines of a following. Anyways, next one. I think somebody should do the Marathon Family, and they should do a YouTube channel off of a big crazy family like mine, but there are bigger and crazier. And they should essentially help me understand their calendar from 6 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. at night or whenever the heck. Walk me through what you have to do to keep up with life. I want to watch that Netflix series. I want to watch that YouTube series. This is an HGTV real life thing. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is like over here. I would never watch that. I want somebody who's bearing the same scars that I am. I think there's a lot of people who would tune in for that. It would be funny. It would be, yep.
I imagine that's been done right now. There's a lot of like
can't
little
think of any.
miniature like cut
But
up
is it
your
done
day.
well?
I've seen some TikTok accounts where they say, "Oh, at this time I got up," blah blah blah. You know,
No. Give me the anxiety. Give me the drama. Like
Give
a
me the anxiety,
YouTube
the drama.
series. Like if somebody, okay, my morning, this morning.
Oh boy. No, this is not a normal morning for you. Okay, this is
Okay, I could do yesterday or the
do
day before
yesterday. Can
or
you
the
give
day
me
before.
yesterday? I want yesterday.
Just pick a day. I'll tell you that day.
Yesterday.
Okay, what was it? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday morning, I woke up at 7:30. My 4-year-old daughter had snuck brownies that were hidden away in a top shelf. She had broken a shelf on her climb. So now I have to repair a shelf this weekend.
Yeah.
And then she's crying because she hit her head. Okay. She's eaten tons of sugar, so she's off the wall too. So as I calm her down, now she's crazy. She lost her glasses, and this is just one of the children. I have to get them ready for school. Another child is sleeping in because we had a big weekend. That child starts getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I'm getting the theme here.
Okay.
I'm laughing
So
because
I got to get to work by 8, right? And I have a conference call at 8:30
Yeah.
for planning a very ambiguous like new business. I have to get them to school on time to get to my Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
I didn't shave. I couldn't brush my teeth. I used yesterday's shirt.
Okay, this is great. It pulls people into the trauma that they already have and exposes them to say, "Hey, I'm normal. My bullshit is everybody else's
That's what
bullshit."
it is.
It's really interesting.
That's why there's a huge audience. So if you
there's
just
a huge audience
yeah.
for it. Absolutely. It's basically the opposite of Instagram.
And that was
Instagram
a
is my
2-hour segment.
Polished life.
That was just, we hadn't even gotten to 9
Dude,
yet.
it's so funny, and I feel so bad and douchey saying this, but my yesterday,
You
my
slept
morning,
in past
I
9, didn't you?
say what? Oh, I woke up at like 9:30. My wife and I took a walk down the street to get a coffee. Then we took a $100
God.
gondola ride to the top of this mountain where we went on this
I
roller
hate your
coaster.
life.
We had lunch.
I'd be so bored.
We took a hike. It was
You
like
took a hike yesterday?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Okay,
man.
I went to the beach. I went to Whiskey Town
Yeah.
Beach. And do you know what that was like for me? I packed an
Probably
ice
great,
chest.
I bet.
would stop by Subway on the way home.
Yeah.
I had to throw my kids in the car. It was
Yeah.
very stressful. My wife had to get the baby ready, so she's got an infant.
This is just the difference of 5 kids and no kids. That's really all it is.
Okay, but also I just got off work. I haven't shifted brain sets, and I didn't choose to go to the beach. So it's also wife choice of like, well, we're going to do this. And I'm like, I want the beach I'll wind down at.
Yeah.
But to get there, we have a massive inflatable from Costco. It's the size of 3 stand-up boards.
Yeah.
And I got to put it on the roof. I strap it down. I got to blow it up at there. I need 2 men. So I had to go borrow another random guy at the beach to get it down. Mm-hmm. And then I got to feed my kids. They were tuna and pickle sandwiches.
Now I'm getting the story here. I'm getting the context here. You're thinking it would sell to have this streamed or like sent out there and people would watch this. People would be
if
interested.
people filmed this and then we got to tell them. And then I also forgot to do this. Like I forgot to feed the dog yesterday.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
So the dog
that's normal
escaped
things.
yesterday.
Is this similar to like the John and Kate +8 thing?
I don't know.
I
Probably.
haven't watched any of that stuff. Like there are reality TV shows. That's already a thing, but there's not a real TV
But
show.
a
I
real-
want like
yeah,
a
this
real.
isn't
Like
doctored up.
I'm turning on my phone and here we go.
This isn't doctored up. Yeah.
Yeah, people would definitely tune into that. I don't know if I would want to do that. I think it would be exploited it would exploit your family too much. I wouldn't like that.
True.
You're gonna script your kids.
That's
That's
why
what I'm
I
saying.
don't film it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. You're
Oh my
right.
gosh. It would work though. You could monetize it. It would absolutely be successful.
All right. Hit me with a content.
A content? You want something that I think
A
people would
content
subscribe
idea
to?
that
Like
people- yep,
interest?
yep.
I mean, I told you the one last time, a blog on your ex-boyfriends, like just terrible first dates. Any stories like that? Like, and you wouldn't even have to write the content. People
Terrible
would,
first dates.
Terrible first dates.
I love that.
Yeah, people would read that
That
because
one
it's
would work.
hilarious. And it's also,
Yep.
I mean, there's stories for days. We all have terrible first dates.
I like that
It's
one.
fantastic.
All right. You got an idea?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, I got one. I am doing this. I'm starting an AI version of the Donald Trump Bible. So I am using AI to completely rewrite the Bible in the theme of Donald Trump. So you can do this. You just take a few of his speeches, put it in there, and it notices
You're
the trends.
teaching it Donald Trump's voice?
Yeah, I'm teaching it Donald Trump's voice and writing style, and so I'm going to rewrite.
Oh my god!
And then the goal what I want to do with it is I want to make it a live YouTube channel where I'll just use a separate laptop. I'll completely stream it 24/7 of an AI version of Donald Trump reading his
in
Bible.
post editing, can we add Trump's voice to something like this?
I want to send out the link.
Yeah.
I think it's the douchiest thing on planet Earth, and I think it'll actually work. I think people will click on it, and I think I can monetize it.
How would you monetize that? I mean,
Oh,
this would
ads, anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The best part is the evangelical Christian crowd will think like, wow, this is sincere,
Done.
awesome.
This will work.
And then the other crowd will be like, this is hilarious. I have to keep on watching this. And so everybody's in.
They won't like listen to it.
No.
They won't actually listen
it's
to
the
it, but-
gag gift. It's
yeah.
like, hey, you have to see this thing.
Gag gift. Ooh. Okay. So charge $39.99 for it, and make it an extremely like compelling gag gift.
Well, I would make it a calfskin Bible.
Like, it's
then,
exclusive.
and, like gold in the edges.
Well,
Make it
this
the
is a
same
digital
colors as
product,
hair.
right?
Pardon?
It's a digital product,
It's
right?
a digital product, but
Yeah.
you could make an actual physical copy.
This would be so funny. Like if you had to pay for this and your loved one knew it.
Would you? Hey, producer Steve, would you watch this? Would you show this to people? He's nodding
He would
yes.
show this to
He
people.
said-
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a thumbs up, or he flipped me off. I'm not sure. It's
Oh,
one
wow.
of those.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
hit me up.
All
That's,
right.
that's my terrible
JD
idea.
said his mom would listen to it too.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh,
what I'm talking. It would
gosh.
get both sides. It
Not
would
your
totally-
mama's Bible. Not your mama's Bible.
Not your mama's Bible. That's
Yep.
funny.
Okay. I think there needs to be a blow up houseboat, an inflatable houseboat.
Oh,
I was just on a massive platform with 6 adults and 4 kids, and I got it from Costco for $200.
this would work.
Okay, so if I can already buy
The military does this.
that, the military does this. So we want to take it to Costco now. We want to make a product
Yeah.
that it's got to have, now it's going to be big. So it's got to have like convert to a wagon to roll. And it's got to have a big inflator that's going to come with it and that can, with an extension cord to the battery of your car. So, but once you get it down to the water it's on wheels, right? It's on decent sized wheels. It doesn't have to be like bike wheels. And you start inflating that bad boy up. It's going to be like, one of those summer camp docks that are huge. You jump onto, blah, you launch people. Like really thick canvas or whatever that is, vinyl. And a very simple, patio boat style houseboat. It can fit 12 people and you can go chill. And it just has like paddles, right? Like you just get
You could
3
even
paddles
do a
on
little
each side.
motorboat on the back, I think.
Right. If you want to do that yourself, right? So what it should do is it should have a hard piece of plastic on the back that could clamp.
That can
you
mount
could
things.
mount
Yeah,
a
yeah.
motor. Yep. I think that you could sell that for like $899 at a Costco or online. And I think that's there. Think about all the people with toys, water
you could
toys.
sell that for way more, I think.
More? Okay.
But I imagine you're going to run into a lot of regulations. Huge
What?
problems. Yeah.
Like
totally.
what?
I don't know. I've never built a boat. I've never done that before.
Oh no! You just avoid. This
Just
isn't
avoid
a boat.
it, just avoid
Definitely
it.
not a boat. When Elon Musk made a flamethrower for the Boring
What?
Company, you don't know this?
No.
Okay, Elon Musk. Shout out to Elon Musk who made a flamethrower just to advertise the Boring Company because he knew he could sell out on Twitter in moments. It is a legitimate flamethrower,
Okay.
but they used it. They made it based on tar heating flamethrowers for roofers.
Okay.
So that when they shipped them internationally to customers who bought them,
Yeah.
they could put on the label, not a flamethrower in red. And then they had a description of what it is. It's a tar roofing, heat gun or whatever it is.
But it's so obviously
But
a
it's
flamethrower.
actually badass, and it's a flamethrower. And they have a video of him showing a flamethrower, and they called it definitely not a flamethrower.
Okay, dude, this is great. There are tons of loopholes and legalities that I've been wanting to get into, but I haven't had the courage to even bring up because I'm not sure how to do it right. But let's just do it right now since we're doing it.
Elon energy.
Oh my gosh,
and make not a dog supplement.
You could do anything. Remember when I was talking about sell fish or anything
Not
like that?
medicine.
Okay, you know
Definitely not medicine.
the best excuse on earth, which is a terrible excuse, but I think it's the greatest one, is it's just a church. Make it a church. No matter what you want to sell, call it a church, make it religious, and you can sell it.
Yeah,
Have you seen
people
this
really
place
believe
in
in this flamethrower worship. Yeah.
Have you seen in San Francisco? These guys are selling weed, I think, or something like that.
my
It's
gosh.
drugs. It's a lot of drugs, and they're just saying, "Oh no, this is a
It's
church.
our religion. We practice.
It's our religion."
Mind and nature connection here.
Which is actually a great tool. If there are laws that you're like, this is actually just a dumb law. This is dumb. This is dumb, and it was a law that was taken too far in a certain direction. You can use this to get around that, and I think you should. Not a flamethrower.
Dude, let's
Can we buy one?
talk
Can we
about
still
the
buy one?
fragility of laws.
Okay.
Actually, while we're on the Elon, he talks about this too.
Yeah.
So on the Elon subject, one of the things that I really agree with him on is the law eventually crumbles itself and breaks a society because you don't have a recycling principle of laws. So it gets more and more fragile the longer history goes because it's harder to remove one than it is to add one. So
Yeah.
in order to fix things we realize are broken, we actually don't remove what was broken or edit it. There's no edit button on laws. You just add a new law that says unless. All these exemptions.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to vote and pass something through. So in our society, a nation of laws, you have no recycle or trash dump mechanism for a 100-year-old law. So if you can't get a 100-year-old law voted to remove, the only way to actually get what you want is like add some language to make exceptions. So eventually society gets so rigid that we can't properly do a court hearing well because every lawyer is just going to find the exceptions and exemptions. So you lock people up more often or you let people go too often or whatever. So these weird results happen.
I think one hack in terms of business hacks, in terms of laws, just move faster than the laws, which is kind of a terrible hack. But if you're starting a business, don't worry about the taxes. Don't worry about all this stuff. Start your business and then catch up with yourself there.
I think the world is held up by an economy far more than a set of regulations. So I actually think that businesses are kind of the top of the pyramids and laws are middle. So even though the law wins in ultimate authority, the way our society actually functions, like whether or not something is good or bad, is typically an economic reality. Because it's an ecosystem.
Not
Call
good
it
or
an
bad.
ecosystem.
Whether or not I want it or I don't, or I need it or I don't.
Right.
Because there are bad businesses that people are making tons of money off of, I think.
Right. And for them, maybe that was good or right?
Yeah, sure, I suppose. I don't know.
For them.
For them. Yeah, for them. For their purpose, I suppose.
All right.
Okay.
Influencer strike team. Ever since that we realized TikTok exists, which is for me like 2 months ago, I'm more often looking at influencers. I'm like, how in the world do you get a following? Because you are crazy. And and then I started realizing,
Crazy work. Man.
well, a lot of influencers are crazy. They attract a niche.
Yeah.
And then you start going, oh, you're not like a business person, but you are now a millionaire. And it's very much like athletes.
Yeah.
Right? So you did something that a lot of niche people liked. And now you're a multimillionaire. Some of them are very, very wealthy. Some of them look wealthy, but they're not. But there are these athlete levels in the digital influencer world now of how kind of money is flowing. But the normal ways that people, business people, kind of go leech the money of athletes or rich people that are not business people, but they're suddenly rich, is like, we have investment products for you. We have insurance products for you. We have, you need a security guard. They kind of go, what does a rich person want or need? And then they sell to that pain point. Mm-hmm. But this is a new generation. You've got Gen Z millionaires now who just knew how to operate an iPhone, and they had like distinct ideas, and they went for it online boldly, and they got rewarded with it randomly, almost randomly. I think you could sell or make a great service, like kind of a services model of a strike team ready to go for an influencer. So look, hey, we got the lawyer ready, we got the CPA ready, we've got the bookkeeping team ready, we've got an operations director ready, we've got a salesperson ready, we've got a marketer ready, we've got a product suite you can pick from any of these. You want to launch an e-course? We're ready to go. We've got everything handled. Plug and play. We have every senior leader you need, a business would need to do a masterclass.
Kendall, don't you kind of already do this?
I don't want to get into that too much, but kind of, sure. Yeah, kind of, but not explicitly.
We've never gone full out, like in every
Not
direction.
for
like,
influencers.
So like, hey, we can get everything in e-commerce. We can do everything in every direction there. Yeah, I totally get that. I bet you this already exists. If it doesn't exist, it needs to exist starting tomorrow.
I'm not afraid of things that don't exist. I think if it exists already, then that means there's a market for it. And
there's a massive market for it.
But I know there's not enough of this for the amount of influencers that are popping up. They have resources.
I don't know if it's that. I think it's getting through the weeds. So let's say pick a random influencer out there.
I don't know any.
Yeah, I know, right? So you cold email them or you try to get a hold of them. Somehow you get a hold of them. The odds of you actually getting that person is probably very difficult. And then once you've already gotten there, they already have a manager. So the manager, you don't think it's...
No, I think it's as difficult. Look, I've been in sales or growth or marketing for the last decade straight. It's as difficult of getting a CMO on the line, getting a CEO on the line, getting a CSO, getting a CTO. There are all these chiefs that you have to get on the line and sell expensive things to anyways. If you aimed all the strategy that goes into that type of hunting at influencers, you can get in front of them.
But let's say you're famous influencer. They already have most of the stuff. So like you're Cristiano Ronaldo, right? You're not going to touch that guy. He's already got all of his things already done. Now I have an idea for you. Take this, turn it into white labeling, and do your very, very entry-level influencer. They're probably not anything yet, but then just say, hey, we can take you and we can do all this with you, and we're going to white label all these products because you already have the shipping thing. You already have the entire supply chain ready.
It's additive. It doesn't replace what you already have.
Exactly.
This does not replace, just because you're a famous influencer does not mean that you are doing everything well. This is additive to your life. This is like just write us a check for $1 million to get started, and we'll go do these 3 businesses. And in 6 months, you'll have revenue because you're going to promote your own products.
Yeah.
Right? We get a piece of it. That's the model. We get a piece of what you push. You're an influencer. You already have the marketing down.
I don't think they have the $1 million. I think a lot of these people would have a hard time coming up with that.
Well, you can cash flow it slightly. It's like any sale. Anyways. It's okay if you hate it.
No. I think it's a good idea. I'm just thinking there's a way to do it really, really well. And I think that way is to start with very entry level, get the contracts in place and say, hey, we're going to grow you. And then you grow that person. They don't put up a lot of money, but you get them. That's
the hardest part. Growing them is the hardest part. Wait for the ones that already grew.
Not when they're brand new growing. Like, let's say, here, take this. The new Game of Thrones series just dropped. We could have looked up a long time ago to see who was cast in that series. And what we could have said, sweet, these guys in 2 years, they're going to become really, really, really famous. So let's talk to them now. And let's get their everything set up and ready to go before they've been touched by anybody else. You know what I mean?
They're still influencers. 2 years ago, they were still influencers.
No, 2 years ago, they were no-name actors.
I mean, maybe you're just thinking of the elite influencers in your head. I'm just categorizing everybody with more than X thousands of...
I'm thinking it'd be really hard to get some. Anyways, let's move on.
We gotta move on. You want to go small potatoes. I want to go big energy.
Yeah, go for the big energy. Let's do it.
I got. Else? Yeah, there's. All right, there's an Easter egg I mentioned.
Oh yeah, what do we got?
Yeah, so I have hidden in the room a hamburger flipper for camping.
Really?
Did you know that? It's on the table. There it is. This weekend I was camping, and these Apple cards are like steel
really
or something.
Can I see that?
And I forgot the hamburger flipper, and the fire was really hot. I put the hamburgers on the fire.
This is really heavy.
And I didn't know how to flip it without them falling through the grate. And I was like, the only thing I could find was this stupid credit card.
This is so well made.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what I need is a little camping box of flat tools. I don't need a whole handle with a hamburger. Like, I just need flat things for specific purposes.
Yeah.
Right? There's a wrench that's flat. I've seen different flat versions for backpacking and camping of most things, but there should just be a box of these flat things slide in them for different purposes. Because when I'm throwing stuff in my trunk to go backpacking or camping or family packing, it's always chaotic to pack. I just need the kit, and I need it to be very easy to manage. It's my emergency hamburger flipper. So I don't want to go brainstorm all the other things you'd put in there, but I know there's a lot of them. A grill, that like a great, you could make a whole set of tools. Like tongs, you could make them like tweezers, but they fold together, right?
Yeah.
I could have done hot dogs with a flat, basically, you get it.
You could probably burn that really hot and nothing would happen to it.
Nothing did. I did it. That's what I said. This weekend, I did it over a very hot fire.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I
Lost some
That's
hand
the weirdest
hair, but
Easter egg ever. All right,
Yep.
that's funny. That's
Yep.
funny. Okay, I want to. I have one more idea that I think this is actually super viable. Anybody could do it. Anybody who's decent could do it. And this is an idea that you gave me a long time ago. A long time ago, I was in a weird situation where I needed some money and I couldn't figure out a quick way to do it. And you were like, just do this. And you shot from the hip, and damn, you got it great. Okay. Somebody should go out there and go to really bad businesses. Well, businesses with really bad websites, and say, hey, I'll remake your website for a very low price of $100, just $100, and you're gonna have a bomb ass website. And then it just costs $30 a month to maintain your website through
Right.
me. And they will obviously never, ever, ever stop paying $30 a month because that's great. And the hosting fees are way lower than that.
Yeah.
And if you do this for 50 businesses, and
didn't
you
we
say,
talk about this for dentists or something?
no, it should be not dentists. I'm talking like go to Giles Key and then go next door
like
and then
physically,
go to,
like walk in
yeah,
and be like,
and
hey,
just
your
say,
website
hey,
sucks.
I'll do your website and I can do it really fast.
do it today.
and I can do it great. And you just pay me $30. Now, if you have 50 people on retainer paying you $30 every single month,
Yeah.
that adds up so fast.
What's 50 times 30?
I don't know, 3 times 5,
3,000 a
plus-
month.
Yeah, look at that. Boom, you're done.
No, 1,500. It's only 1,500
But they
a
don't
month.
get any. They get a review one time a year, and you say absolutely. But if you want to do things like ship products through the website, totally great. I can definitely set you up with that, and that's a complete massive upcharge. But just take bad websites where people don't actually use their websites and say, hey, you need a better website just to get people in the door because your business is in the door. Let me help you with this. It would work. It would be so easy.
Did you do it?
No, you can do temp. No, I didn't do it. I didn't.
You said I helped you out of a bad spot.
Well, no,
do
you
it?
gave me the great idea,
okay,
and then I
okay.
was like, oh, this is great.
And then you didn't do it.
No, I didn't do it. We had other ideas. We bought a business, remember?
Yeah. Okay. So that, okay. I remember that. Okay. So I'm just going to piggybacking off of that. This
Yep.
is on my list is the One Call website. Okay. One of the companies that I run is a software engineering firm. When people call us for websites, we're annoyed. We try to say yes because we want the reputation to be protected, but it is expensive to do it through our normal processes because we're not going to take any shortcuts. We don't take any shortcuts, and we very much run it through a great process. So that's only good for like a small percentage of the market because it's going to be a $10,000 website.
Sure.
So I think even on our website, we added it up. We're like, we spent $30,000 on our own website. We know all the hacks. It's still, we put the money into it to make it matter.
Yeah.
But there is the opposite end of the market. And it is, I need this now. I want this now. I need this now. I don't have a lot of money for it, but these are the people that go make a Squarespace website themselves. But the hardest part is somebody who has a little bit of design, a little bit of copywriting, a little bit of like, I can do the SPF records. They know the technical stuff
You're
for the website.
describing us.
I'm describing you. Like, yeah. And I know a few other people like this. So you have to be a jack of all trades at the digital stuff and at the creative stuff and a master of none.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you would pitch this service, and you can piggyback right off what you just said. Great, $30 a month for maintenance. I'm with you. This is a one-call website building like service. On the Zoom call, I'm going to book it for an hour, and we are going to do it together. I am going to make you make decisions on your copywriting on the spot. I am going to drag things around in front of your eyes. I am going to do the domain settings. I'm going to ask you if you want your name at an email. Do you want an admin email?
You could do this.
Yes.
This would work.
So I like your pricing model. So
Make it
this is-
too cheap for people to
this
say
is-
no to.
Yeah, this is $199 for the 1 hour. So it's $200 an hour for 1 hour. and we do it on the spot. And then you pay me $30 a month for maintenance, which obviously you would have like overseas admins do.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of maintenance.
There's nothing.
And if they don't like it, then they can book another session and pay again and do it again. But that's not the service. This is like, we're going to get it done today, like on my calendar.
Dude, this would work. I've done this with people, but not like this. I've done this with people.
I've done this for friends.
Oh yeah, I know, with friends when they have like, oh, I wish I could do this, and I actually, it's usually when I get frustrated, I say, all right, come here, we're doing this right now, and they're like,
Right.
I just paid $700 for a website. Yeah, well, I just built it for you for $25, a beer, and 25 minutes. Yeah.
Right. So do that on a Zoom call with screen share and just make a landing page, send people to it with your Calendly.
How would you get customers?
This is adsable because it's $200.
$200 build a website.
This is very ads doable. So like if it costs you $50 to buy that customer, or 70 or $120 per
I think
customer.
you could even do it without ads. I think you could do what I was talking about. Just go door to door and say, hey, I'm doing this.
That is much harder than what I just said.
I don't think it's harder. I think it's so easy. Although I have no.
Let's do a competition.
I have no fear
You
with
do it your
sales.
way. I'll do it my way.
Sure.
Next week.
Next week?
No, I'm not doing this. My calendar's packed. All right. We got to wrap it up.
I know I could sell people. I would walk into the door. It would be so easy. I'd be like, hey, guys, shoot you straight. Your website isn't great. I do website. I'm hard for cash right now. Can I help you with yours? Just $200.
And $30 a month for
And
maintenance.
$30 a month for after that.
That's what makes it magic. All right. Hey, if you liked today's episode, go reach out to us on TikTok and Instagram. Find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Wherever you go, we'll be there. Share it with your mom or your mom's friend.